There's a hidden teaching buried deep within the heart of ancient Buddhist wisdom, a technique so mysterious, so powerful, that it was once kept forbidden, shared only among enlightened monks in sacred temples. This isn't your usual breathwork or mindfulness hack. This is the Lotus Eye Technique, the key to awakening your inner vision. What does that mean? It means unlocking the part of your consciousness that sees beyond the visible world. Not just ghosts or energy fields, but truths so profound they shatter your sense of reality. When your inner vision awakens, the illusion we call life begins to unravel. You start seeing signs, patterns, hidden meanings, and even glimpses of past and future lives. But here's the catch. Once it starts, there's no going back. In this video, we'll explore 10 mystical signs that your inner vision is activating. These signs aren't just random. They're ancient markers on the path to spiritual awakening. From sudden intuitive downloads to seeing sacred symbols in your dreams, each one is a signal from the universe that your third eye is opening and your soul is remembering something forgotten. This is a journey of truth, mystery, and sometimes even fear. Because once you see what lies beyond the visible, your old world starts to disappear. So if you've ever felt like you were meant to see more than meets the eye, like you're different, or more awake than those around you, this might just be the confirmation you've been waiting for. If you're ready to look through the veil, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep watching. Your inner vision is stirring. And these 10 signs? They're your guide. Let's begin. Sign number 1. You start seeing patterns everywhere. Have you ever noticed repeating numbers like 111, 222, or 333? Or maybe you keep bumping into the same symbol, like a spiral, a lotus, or a specific animal? At first you might think it's a coincidence, but it's not. This is the first sign that your inner vision is activating. Your mind is beginning to notice the hidden patterns in the universe. In Buddhist philosophy, the concept of pratyasamutpada, dependent origination, says that nothing happens randomly. Everything is connected. So when your third eye begins to stir, it tunes into this cosmic web. Monks describe this stage as the awakening of the sacred geometry. You don't just see patterns, you start to feel them. You might walk into a room and sense a strange familiarity. You may even get déjà vu more often. That's because your inner vision is slowly syncing with the rhythm of the universe. What's really happening is your subconscious mind is being trained, like a spiritual radar. You no longer overlook the signs that were always there. Some people begin to interpret dreams more vividly. Others say they can predict certain events before they happen, even just a few seconds ahead. It's not just about numbers or signs in the clouds. It's also how you notice the emotional patterns of others. Suddenly, you can tell when someone is lying or hiding something. This can feel overwhelming at first, but don't panic. This is a good sign. You're not going crazy, you're waking up. So if you're starting to see recurring symbols, if songs or messages seem perfectly timed, take note. The lotus eye is cracking open. You're beginning to see not with your eyes, but with your knowing. Sign number 2, your intuition becomes supernaturally accurate. Have you ever just known something without any logical reason? Maybe you suddenly felt like you shouldn't go to that event, and later found out something bad happened there. Or you randomly thought of someone, and within minutes they messaged you. These moments aren't just lucky guesses. They're the second sign that your inner vision is activating. Your intuition is going into overdrive. In Buddhism, the mind has many layers. Most people live only in the surface layer, busy thoughts, distractions, logic. But when the inner vision stirs, your awareness sinks deeper, into the ocean of intuition. This is called the alaya vijnana, the storehouse consciousness. It's where all your karmic memories, spiritual instincts, and hidden wisdom are stored. Suddenly, your gut feelings become razor sharp. You walk into a place and just feel the vibe is off. You sense who to trust and who to avoid, without needing proof. You start making decisions faster, and strangely, they work out more often than not. This isn't magic. It's an ancient biology meeting awakened spirit. You're tuning into what monks call the inner ear of truth. This super intuition isn't just about reading people or avoiding danger. It also shows up as creative downloads. Out of nowhere, you might get a full idea for a project, a dream, or a solution to a problem you've been stuck on for weeks. The Buddhists describe this moment as when the lotus of insight blooms in silence. But here's where it gets really fascinating. You might even start feeling other people's emotions. You'll say something out loud, and your friend goes, "How did you know I was thinking that?" It's not mind reading. It's energy reading. Your inner vision is now picking up on subtle frequencies. Think of it like spiritual Wi-Fi. You're logging into other people's emotional signals, even if they don't say a word. Many people ignore their intuition because the modern world trains us to value logic over feeling. But Buddhist masters know that the subtle feeling is often the purest form of truth. They even say, a single moment of true intuition is worth 1,000 thoughts. Here's how to strengthen this sign when it starts showing up. Keep an intuition journal. Write down your hunches, even if they seem random. Sit in silence each day and listen instead of think. Trust your first instinct, even if it defies logic. It's scary to trust what can't be proven, but that's exactly the test. Inner vision requires faith in your own soul. And the more you trust it, the louder it gets. So if you've been getting strange gut feelings that keep proving right, or you feel like you just know things lately, congratulations. The universe is whispering to you, and you're finally listening. Sign number 3. Your dreams become vivid, symbolic, and sometimes prophetic. If you've been dreaming like crazy lately, more vivid, more strange, and more real, you're not alone. This is sign number 3 of inner vision activation. Your dream world begins to awaken. In Buddhism, dreams aren't just random mental activity. They're messages from the deeper realms of your consciousness, and sometimes even from past lives. When your lotus eye starts to open, your dreams shift from forgettable noise to profound, symbolic downloads. You might start remembering your dreams more clearly. Scenes feel cinematic. People you haven't seen in years suddenly show up. You may wake up emotionally charged, like the dream actually happened. That's because it did, on a different plane of reality. Monks refer to this phase as the night gate awakening. It's when your subconscious begins communicating through powerful archetypes. A snake in your dream could mean rebirth. Flying could signal spiritual freedom. Being chased? You may be avoiding a spiritual truth in waking life. And here's where it gets spooky, in the best way. Some of these dreams start coming true. You dream about someone crying, and the next day they call you with a problem. You dream of a specific location, then find yourself there weeks later. These aren't coincidences. They're signs that your consciousness is traveling ahead of time. Yes, time, as we know it, begins to bend when your inner vision activates. According to Tibetan Buddhist dream yoga, advanced monks use the dream state as a training ground. They become lucid in dreams to practice spiritual techniques and explore the nature of reality. Why? Because dreams are often more real than waking life. They are unfiltered by the physical senses and operate directly through the soul. You may even encounter spirit guides or ancestors in dreams. These beings often appear to offer wisdom or healing. You might not recognize them at first, but pay attention to their energy. It feels familiar, ancient, and comforting. That's because they're part of your soul family, helping you awaken. So, what should you do when this sign begins? Start keeping a dream journal. Write the moment you wake up. Don't just record what happened, also how it felt. Over time, you'll notice themes, repeated symbols, and maybe even messages. Meditate on those symbols. Ask, what does this mean for my path? You'll be shocked how quickly clarity arrives. Also, if you wake up during the night between 3 to 5 a.m. with intense dreams or feelings, you're in what's known as the Brahma Muhurta, a spiritual window when the soul is most active. Don't ignore it. That's when visions come. So if your dreams have gone from random weirdness to vivid, symbolic, or even psychic, your lotus eye is no longer just opening. It's wide awake during the night. Your soul is talking. Now it's time to listen. Sign number 4. You begin to feel people's energy instantly. This is the moment when your inner vision starts turning the invisible into something you can feel. deep in your body, without a word spoken. You walk into a room, and before anyone says anything, your chest tightens. Something feels off. Or maybe you pass a stranger and instantly feel a strange sense of peace, like you've known them forever. This isn't random. This is energy perception, and it's one of the strongest signs that your lotus eye is opening. In Buddhist teachings, this kind of awareness is considered sacred. It's part of what's known as developing the subtle body, the energetic layer of your being that senses the world beneath the surface. You're no longer interacting with just the physical forms around you. You're responding to frequencies, emotions, vibrations. It's like tuning into a radio station that was always broadcasting, but now you're finally listening. This can feel like both a blessing and a curse at first. You may start to avoid certain people because their energy just feels heavy or chaotic. Others may seem magnetic, comforting, even familiar, even if you've never spoken to them. The truth is, your soul is picking up on what the eyes cannot see. In some cases, it might even be remembering, recognizing karmic threads from past lives or soul connections that run deeper than time. It's also common to feel emotionally overwhelmed in crowded spaces. Shopping malls, subways, or even parties might leave you feeling drained. That's because your energetic boundaries are shifting. Your aura is becoming more open, more sensitive. This is not weakness, it's spiritual intelligence. Buddhist monks often train for years just to refine this level of sensitivity because it allows them to act from compassionate clarity rather than assumption or bias. You'll also start to notice shifts in how people respond to you. Some will feel naturally drawn to your presence. Others may feel uncomfortable or exposed without knowing why. It's because your activated energy field subtly reveals hidden truths. People can feel when you're seeing them on a deeper level, even if you never say a word. If you've experienced moments where someone smiles, but you feel their sadness behind the grin, or when someone says they're fine, but you know they're not, you're not imagining things. Your inner vision is cutting through the masks. During this phase, it's essential to take time to rest, ground yourself, and spend time in nature. Think of your energy like a sponge. It absorbs a lot, so you'll need to clear it regularly through stillness, breathwork, or simply quiet reflection. Feeling people's energy isn't just an emotional gift, it's spiritual perception. It means your soul is waking up to the true language of the universe, vibration, and the more you feel, the more you see. Sign number 5. You begin to see flashes of light, shadows, or movement in your peripheral vision. You're sitting alone, scrolling through your phone, when suddenly, a flicker in the corner of your eye. You turn your head. Nothing. A few days later, you notice it again. This time, it's like a tiny flash of light, almost like someone snapped a picture with an invisible camera. Then shadows begin to shift subtly, even when there's no movement. Congratulations. This is sign number 5. Your inner vision is crossing into the non-physical world. This sign is one of the most exciting and sometimes unsettling phases of awakening. In Buddhist teachings, the world we see isn't the only one that exists. There are many planes of reality, all coexisting and layered like pages in a sacred book. Most people live only on one page. But when your lotus eye opens, you begin seeing the edges of the others. These flashes of light are not hallucinations. They're often the energetic forms of spirit guides, ancestors, or beings that dwell in the higher realms. Shadows or quick movements can sometimes be residual energy from past events in a space, what some monks call karma echoes. Your third eye is picking up on frequencies that your physical eyes were once blind to. It might happen most when you're meditating, waking from sleep, or just before bed, times when your mind is quiet and your inner perception is most active. Some people describe seeing outlines of figures or sparkles of light in complete darkness. If this happens to you, don't panic. You're not losing your mind. You're gaining access to a deeper layer of reality. Pay attention to the patterns. Does the flicker happen when you think about someone? Does the shadow appear when you feel a strong emotion? These subtle cues are how spirit communicates, through signs, not speech. You're not imagining things. You're finally seeing beyond the veil. Sign number 6. you begin to hear whispers, sounds, or messages that no one else can. You're lying in bed, half asleep, when suddenly you hear your name, clear as day. You sit up. No one's there. Another time, you catch a faint whisper, a voice in your mind, or even a sound, like a bell, chime, or soft knock. But again, nothing around you explains it. This is another way. You've begun hearing the unheard, messages from the spiritual realm. In Buddhist traditions, this is known as the awakening of the divine ear, or Diba Sota, a sacred siddhi, spiritual power, that allows one to perceive sounds from other realms. And before you ask, no, you're not going crazy. You're tuning into frequencies most people have blocked out for their entire lives. These sounds may begin subtly. You might hear ringing in your ears, not like a medical condition, but like a tone that carries meaning. Or you may hear voices while meditating, not scary or random, but calming, almost wise. Many who experience this say the voices offer guidance like, let go, or it's time. You might also start hearing music when none is playing, or feel a message arrive in your mind, like it was dropped into your thoughts from nowhere. These are signs that spirit guides, higher consciousness, or your own awakened soul is beginning to communicate through vibration. Remember, in Buddhism, sound is considered sacred. The entire universe is said to be made of vibration. That's why mantras are so powerful. They don't just speak to the conscious mind, they unlock deeper realms of understanding. So if you begin hearing sounds, names, or messages that resonate deeply, don't be afraid. You're not alone. You're finally connected. The key is to stay calm, grounded, and open. Write down what you hear. Meditate afterward. The more you tune in with intention, the clearer the messages become. You're not imagining these whispers. They're real, and they're calling you forward. Sign number 7. You begin to remember past lives or feel deep connections to ancient times. Suddenly, you're drawn to ancient temples, foreign languages, or spiritual symbols you've never studied. You feel an unexplainable connection to a certain culture, maybe India, Egypt, or Tibet. Or you visit a place for the first time, and it feels strangely familiar, like you've walked those streets before. This is sign number 7 of your inner vision awakening. Your soul is starting to remember. In Buddhist philosophy, this is not surprising. According to the teachings of samsara, we have all lived countless lives. Your soul has worn many faces, played many roles, and gathered wisdom across centuries. But most of us forget when we are born. The opening of the lotus eye begins to lift this veil. These past life memories don't always return in dramatic movie-like flashes, though sometimes they do. More often, they come through subtle impressions. A smell, a sound, a song, or even a specific face may trigger a powerful emotional response that feels older than this life. You might weep during a certain ritual, or feel chills during a mantra you've never heard before. That's not emotion, it's recognition. Children sometimes speak of past lives with shocking detail. But as adults, we suppress these memories. Inner vision reactivates them. Dreams are another gateway. You may dream of living in another era with different clothes, customs, or people. These dreams feel more vivid than fantasy, like actual memories surfacing from deep within your soul's archive. Some people are even drawn to study sacred languages they've never seen before. Sanskrit, Pali, or Egyptian hieroglyphs. Why? Because your soul already knows them. You're not learning, you're remembering. You may also be drawn to spiritual practices you've never tried before. Meditation, mudras, chanting, or martial arts, and find you're strangely good at them. That's muscle memory from another incarnation. Buddhist monks believe that spiritual progress is never lost. If you trained your soul in a past life, that power will return faster in this one. This stage can be emotional. You might feel nostalgia for places you've never visited, grief for people you've never met in this lifetime, or an aching sense of unfinished business. These aren't random emotions. They're echoes from your soul's journey, rising back into your consciousness so you can heal, integrate, and evolve. So what should you do when this sign appears? Don't ignore the pull. Follow it. If you feel called to study a certain culture, go deeper. Visit sacred sites. Learn spiritual history. Meditate on your memories, no matter how blurry. Write down your dreams. And most of all, trust the emotions that rise when you explore these mysteries. You're not losing yourself. You're discovering the many versions of who you've always been. Because the truth is, your awakening isn't just about this life. It's about remembering all the lives that led you here. Sign number 8. You experience a sudden shift in your diet, cravings, and lifestyle. One day, you wake up, and suddenly the food you used to love just doesn't feel right anymore. Greasy burgers, overly sweet desserts, or alcohol might actually make you feel uncomfortable or heavy. Instead, you find yourself craving lighter meals, more fruits, vegetables, and clean water. You might even start losing interest in meat, processed food, or anything that feels low energy. This is sign number 8. Your body is aligning with your soul's frequency. When the inner vision begins to open, your energy field becomes more sensitive, and that includes your physical vessel. In Buddhism, the body isn't seen as separate from the soul. It's the temple that holds your consciousness, and as your awareness evolves, your body starts demanding a lifestyle that supports higher vibration. At first, the shift may seem strange. Maybe you're not trying to change your diet at all, but you wake up and can't stomach coffee anymore. Or you used to binge snacks late at night, but now you crave herbal tea and rest. This isn't random. It's your energetic detox. Your body is extremely intelligent. As your spirit expands, your physical system begins to purge toxins, both emotional and physical, that no longer serve your higher path. Cravings for clean foods, more hydration, and simple, grounding meals are signs your chakras are recalibrating. Even your sense of taste and smell might sharpen, making certain artificial flavors unbearable. It's not just about food. You might feel an aversion to certain environments, loud bars, chaotic crowds, even certain types of music or movies. Your soul simply doesn't resonate with what lowers your vibration anymore. You start naturally seeking peace, silence, soft lighting, or nature. You may begin going to bed earlier, waking up without an alarm, or taking more deep breaths without even realizing it. Another curious thing, you may feel called to do rituals you never practiced before, smudging your room, using crystals, lighting incense, or simply sitting in quiet meditation. These are not trends. They're ancient tools your soul remembers. People around you might not understand the change. They may tease you, ask, "Since when are you into all this healthy stuff?" That's okay. Your awakening isn't for their approval. It's a sacred realignment between your physical life and your spiritual truth. This transformation is incredibly personal, but you're not alone. Thousands are experiencing the same call, to treat their bodies not as machines, but as sacred temples of awakening. In Buddhist monastic life, this is deeply honored. Monks eat simple, mindful meals and follow daily routines that harmonize with nature. You're beginning to walk that same path. So if you're craving a cleaner life, not just in food, but in everything, congratulations. Your body is not betraying you. It's becoming the vessel for your higher self to shine through. Sign number 9. Your thoughts begin to manifest quickly and powerfully. You think of someone, and they text you. You imagine a number or a song, and it shows up within hours. You casually daydream about something you want, and suddenly it's offered to you out of nowhere. Sound familiar? This is sign number 9 of your inner vision activation. Your thoughts are becoming reality faster than ever before. In Buddhist and mystical traditions, this isn't magic. It's mental karma in action. When your inner vision opens, your thoughts, emotions, and intentions begin to vibrate at a higher frequency. And because you're now aligned with your soul's path, the universe listens and responds almost instantly. At first, this might feel like a coincidence, but when it starts happening again and again, you realize it's not chance, it's you. Your inner vision acts like a transmitter. When you're focused, clear, and emotionally aligned, your energy becomes magnetic. The universe reflects back what you're broadcasting. That's why during spiritual awakening, you might begin to manifest things with incredible speed, both good and bad. If you're joyful, peaceful, and confident, beautiful synchronicities line up like magic. But if you're anxious or fearful, you might notice unwanted outcomes appearing just as fast. Buddhism teaches that reality is shaped by intention and perception. What you hold in your mind and heart becomes the blueprint for what appears in your external world. The clearer your mind, the stronger your manifestation power. Here's where it gets really wild. You may start manifesting people, experiences, or even solutions you didn't know you needed. A book falls off a shelf with the exact answer you've been seeking. A stranger offers help with something you've been struggling with privately. These aren't accidents. They're the signs of a conscious creator waking up inside you. But with great power comes great responsibility. This phase is like getting the keys to a very fast car. You can create beauty, abundance, and joy, but only if you're intentional. That's why Buddhist monks train for decades to master their thoughts. A single moment of clarity can produce miracles. A single moment of mental chaos can ripple in ways we don't expect. So what should you do? Begin observing your thoughts more closely. Are they rooted in fear or in trust? Do they align with the version of you that you're becoming? Practice mindful manifestation. Visualize with emotion, speak with purpose, and act with faith. If something manifests quickly, pause and ask, what part of me called this in? Most importantly, be grateful. Gratitude amplifies everything. When you acknowledge that the universe is listening, it begins speaking to you even louder. So if your dreams are turning into your reality at record speed, don't be surprised. You've stepped into your creator's energy. Your thoughts are no longer wishes. They're commands. Sign Dhammaka 10. You feel an unshakable sense of inner peace and purpose. It hits you one morning, not with fireworks, not with drama, but with stillness. You're sitting alone, maybe sipping tea or walking through nature, and suddenly you feel it. A deep, unshakable calm. A sense that everything is exactly as it should be, even if life isn't perfect. This is sign Dhammaka 10, the ultimate sign, that your inner vision is fully awake. This peace doesn't come from avoiding problems. It comes from knowing, deep in your soul, that you are guided, protected, and aligned. The chaos of the world no longer pulls you off center the way it used to. You may still feel emotions, joy, sadness, anger, but they no longer control you. Instead, you observe them, like clouds passing through the vast sky of your awareness. This is what the Buddhists call equanimity. It's the sign of a soul that has begun to transcend the ego and live from a higher consciousness. You are no longer just reacting, you are responding. You feel connected to something greater, something timeless. You no longer chase external validation. You know who you are, and perhaps most beautifully, you feel a sense of purpose. You may not know all the details, but you know you're here for a reason. Whether it's to heal, teach, create, or simply awaken, you sense that your life matters in the bigger cosmic puzzle, that you are a thread in the divine tapestry, and your presence is sacred. This is the final gift of inner vision, not just to see beyond the visible, but to live from the truth within. So if you're feeling a strange calm, a rising clarity, or a silent confidence in your path, don't question it. You've arrived. Activating your inner vision is not just a mystical journey. It's a powerful transformation that touches every part of your life. From sensing energies around you, hearing whispers from the unseen, to remembering past lives and manifesting your deepest desires, these signs reveal that you're awakening to a higher reality. Buddhism teaches us that this awakening is a sacred gift, one that connects us to universal wisdom, compassion, and purpose. As you embrace these signs, remember, this journey isn't about perfection or escaping reality. It's about seeing beyond the invisible and living with clarity, peace, and intention. Your inner vision invites you to become the conscious creator of your own destiny, deeply connected to the timeless flow of life. If you've recognized these signs in yourself, you're not alone. Many are stepping into this new awareness, shaping a world where spiritual awakening is the norm, not the exception. So stay curious, keep exploring, and trust the incredible power within you. If this video opened your eyes to something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Together, let's awaken more souls and see beyond what's visible.